It's chilly out there today. I think Dennis said it was going to be cool. So we shall see. Good morning. It's Barbara. Thank you for joining me for coffee. Well, I sent a bear to the groomer and I got back a poodle. Put my pictures side by side here. And I didn't say anything about the tail, but I like the full tail flag. And she came back with just a thing on the end of her tail. Oh my gosh. Well, I don't know if it was, maybe her tail was more matted than I thought. But I will discuss with Gabby that that tail has to have. We didn't really want a poodle. We wanted a Newfoundland. We were going for Newfoundland. And, well, we were going for a Newfoundland that didn't drool. And that's what we got. But, you know, all these oodles are supposed to be hypoallergenic. That's why people cross a lot of things with poodle to make them hypoallergenic. Maisie's not hypoallergenic. Kim is extremely allergic to Maisie, and she's shedding all over the place, so. But she doesn't drool. There you go. Anyway, she looks adorable, but completely transformed. She looks like a black lab on her body. But it was starting to be very stressful, so it feels good to have her done. Dennis left and gave the groomer a big tip. And I have an appointment for her in 8 weeks. So there you go. I'm going to try to be much better. I'm sure we'll be together for that time, so you'll see her again. But just to get little clips around her butt and, you know, her eyes so she can see and things like that. And Pearl, well, both dogs had their shots and checkups while we were at the vet anyway, because the groomer's at the vet. And it turns out we've been starving Pearl, and she has lost weight. And she's been trying to tell us lately that she's been starving, but we just thought she was being nudgy, but apparently we've been starving her, so we've upped her rations, and she'll be very happy about that. I mean, I should have known because she took my dinner off the counter the other night. I forgot to tell you that. I had some pork belly, leftover pork belly that I had on the counter to get to room temperature before I broiled it, and she took it off the counter. She never does that. I mean, literally doesn't do that. That should have been a clue. That should have been a clue. So anyway, poor puppy. She's lost some weight. You know, I'm jealous, but I feel bad because I wasn't trying to make her lose weight. She didn't need to lose weight. So anyway, we're upping her rations, and she's going to be a much happier puppy, I'm quite sure. Maisie's right where she should be, so we're keeping her the same. They weigh about the same. They don't get the same amount of food. Pearl is much more active than Maze is. So, anyway. So there's the update on the dog. And there's the before and after. She's very cute. She's very cute. But she looks like a completely different dog. But you've been through this with me before if you've been around for a while. Anyway. So that made for, you know, a lot going on. As you know, I took her yesterday morning. Dennis picked her up in the afternoon. Ora had her ended up having her rehab yesterday. They were going in late because of the weather. Ora was thinking of canceling it, but they rescheduled her, and she called me. They said if we could come at 2:30, can you take me? And I'm like, absolutely. And I was really glad because I wasn't doing anything. I was on my phone. I wasn't doing anything. And I thought, well, at least if I take Ora to rehab, I've done something. And of course, technically it's not true because I always talk to you in the morning. And I had taken Maisie to the vet. So it wasn't that I hadn't done anything, but I wasn't doing anything. So I was glad to do that. And I was really glad that she wanted to do it. That she didn't really want to cancel. And that was good too. Because I think she's really sort of feeling the benefit of it and feeling stronger. And, she was very tired when she was done, but she was pretty proud of herself, and it was good. It was really good. So I did that with her, and Dennis went and picked up the girls at the vet, and we both met at home long after they normally eat. They normally eat around 2:30 or 3 o'clock, and by that time it was coming up on 5. So they were really starving. But that's what I did yesterday. I read my phone. I told Dennis I feel like I'm on hiatus. I'm like on hiatus from life, from everything. I'm on hiatus. Although, interestingly, and I have no idea why, I feel like I felt better when I woke up this morning, so that's good. I do have, as I've been saying for a while, I have to dust and clear the table and stuff because Ora's coming tomorrow for dinner. Dennis is making her pork chops. We haven't had pork chops in a really long time. And she wanted pork chops, so we are having her over for dinner for pork chops tomorrow. So that'll be fun. But it would be nice to have a place for her to sit at the table and eat her dinner, Don't say I never did anything for her. So I'll put her around today. And it'll be interesting to see how much less dirt and many fewer leaves I have on my floor now that the Swiffer is no longer a Swiffer and now she looks like a black lab poodle mix. Because she was a Swiffer, and I have leaves all over my house. I've been sweeping like every day. I know a lot of you sweep every day, and I know maybe that's not my normal. It's not my normal. So anyway, there'll be a lot fewer leaves in the house, and I'm very tempted to vacuum the bedroom rug. And it'll stay nice now because I just don't think that, you saw. Gabby shaved her. I just hope she's not cold. I'm worried about it being cold, It is still February. Oh, it's my sister's birthday today. I have to call her and sing her the zoo version of the birthday song. Everybody needs a zoo version of the birthday song. So I'll call her later today. Wish her a happy birthday. So I did not craft at all yesterday. I read. In the evening, I read. I couldn't find anything on television, and so I read. My Netflix doesn't have anything. When I get in a mood, nothing sounds good. I literally watched the Great British Baking Show the other night while I was knitting. I've seen it like 5 times. It's like my, lullaby or my soothing whatever. Anyway, so I read. I read a book I'd read before. But that was good. And I went to bed a little earlier than usual. And, but I woke up feeling a little cheerful or hopeful or something. So that's good. I'm going to plan that. I did tell Dennis before I went to bed that I was not going to actually type anything in Twitter today. I wasn't going to comment on anything. I don't know if that's going to end up being true. But it might help. But there you go. Yeah. I felt like I was on a hiatus. Just sort of like taking a break. I'm taking a break of some weird kind. I don't know. I have to do something about my driver's license. It's due in a couple of weeks. I can mail it in or go online and renew it, and then I use my old picture, which has the red hair. But the Pennsylvania driver's licenses are not real ID. In the United States, they have come up with this thing called real ID that you have to have documentation, extensive documentation to get. But starting, and I don't know when, you won't be able to get on an airplane in the United States just using your driver's license anymore from Pennsylvania, because our Pennsylvania driver's license, our regular one, is not a real ID. Now, I don't have a big intention of flying, although it's possible this year I would go visit my sister. And I have a valid passport till 2024, and passports work. So, you know, passport is equivalent to a real ID. So, anyway, if I just go online, I can renew my driver's license and I don't have to think about it anymore. Otherwise, I have to go in and get my picture taken and bring all my documentation, which I would have to gather, and I'm sure I have it, but still. And if I did that, I would do that on the 8th of March, because that's the day I have my hair appointment, and I would go there with a brand new hairdo. Professional hairdo. So that's what I'm thinking. But I think if I'm going to do it online, I've got to do it pretty soon, because they have to mail it to me by the time my birthday comes around. Because I think it's my birthday when day after my birthday is like the last day it's valid. I went to the bank with my dad the day after his birthday to make some changes to his accounts. And he gave her his driver's license, but he hasn't been driving for a couple of years, and he gave me his car. So he hasn't been driving, and so he did not renew his driver's license when he got the notification. He called the county to make sure he could still vote without it, and they assured him that he could. So he did not renew his driver's license. And so she asked for ID, and he gave her his driver's license, and she says, oh, well, today's the last day this is valid. So my dad doesn't have valid ID. He doesn't have a passport. He has no valid ID. He thinks he doesn't need it. I think he's going to end up being wrong, and I think that's going to be a problem. I hope not. He turns 91 this year. But that was the last day his driver's license was valid, the day after his birthday. So I imagine that's the case for me as well. But I do have a valid passport. I can use his ID. But I will be driving, so whatever. Anyway, those are the things I'm thinking about. Yeah. So today I'm on hiatus. I have no idea what that's going to mean. But we still will be walking our dogs. So I will be going outside. But I don't have anything other outside the house planned. I did buy a big bottle of brandy that I need to turn into Cointreau or Grand Marnier, some orange liqueur. So, and Dennis bought me oranges, so I have to peel the oranges and start that process because it takes a couple months for the oranges to infuse. And we use that in our corpse revivers, which we've been having for our cocktail lately. So I need to get started on that, and I have the oranges, and I stopped at the State store on the way home with Aura. She didn't want anything. She said, I'm only drinking wine now, and Kim has lots of wine at the house, so I'm good. I'm like, okay. Anyway, So that's what I'll be doing today. Puttering. I'll be puttering. Maybe I'll do some knitting. We'll see. So I'm wearing my bistro sweater. I have more of this yarn. I found a skein of this. I forget what it was called. It's a beautiful yarn. I'm not happy with the neckline of this sweater. I did it in the mohair, and I don't like how wide it is and loose. Although I think it looks okay in the camera, being loose like that, almost like a little bit of a little cowl. I don't know. So I was thinking about doing something and just putting another neckband on the inside of this, using the more solid yarn, more, you know, sturdy. And I have have this loose one on the outside and then have a regular on the inside. I have some idea I might try to do that. I don't know if it'll work. And since I have no ambition, I won't do it anytime soon. But anyway, this is my bistro. This is the yummy yarn that Valerie gave me. And then I do not remember the name of this shawl pattern. But this is the first shawl I made out of my hand spun. So this is my hand spun. And I thought it went well. And I feel like I need something around my neck because of that collar. So I may think about that. When I have been saying I want another turtleneck. I don't know. I feel like that's something in the project in the future, but it is something I think about with this sweater all the time. But I love the color, I love the feel of it. And I love the mohair stripes. This is the one where I did the mohair stripes in the front. And I did all that because I only had one mohair, and so I couldn't do the stripes all the way around. I thought it was pretty clever. It worked out pretty well. Anyway, I'll stop rambling, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Please take good care of yourselves. Please, please stay safe and stay